Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. I'm Harini Kannan. I'm the founder and CEO at DreamWave AI, and we're working on next generation AI photography. And so the photo that you see here is a generated photograph of someone at the Met Gala that we generated with our product. So at DreamWave, we believe that image generation AI is poised to change every pixel that we see. And our vision is to supercharge our customers' marketing teams with custom AI models to generate assets, content, and ad creatives. So I'm sure many of you are familiar with Midjourney and Stable Diffusion, which are great tools to kind of generate more general assets. But what if you want to generate something specific, a specific product or photos of a specific person? How would you do that? And that's the problem that we're solving at DreamWave. So building custom AI models to do this. A little bit about our commercial product. So it's a foundation model and also a commercial offering that's accurate, steerable, and scalable. These are all photos generated from one model that we trained with. Here are some examples of the range of outputs that you can get with DreamWave. So the photograph on the left is an example input image. And as you can see, you can kind of generate totally new photography assets of the same person in different scenes, in different clothing styles and backgrounds. The one on the left is my favorite because she's at the Met Gala, and I don't know, I'm a Met Gala fan. So you can't really do this with, photoshopping things together or using Midjourney to kind of like do a face swap. You would kind of need to generate the entire photograph from scratch, and that's what DreamWave allows you to do. Some more examples of the same person. The photo on the left is kind of like a cool outfit. The photo on the right is an example of her at a talk show, maybe. More examples here. The left is another Met Gala outfit, another talk show photograph. So yeah, hopefully that gives you a sense of the range of different outputs that you can generate with DreamWave. So I'm going to go into a few use cases that we've seen our customers use. I think a big one is just creating photography assets for different types of social media posts and ad creatives. And so here's an example. So this is Julia. She's a content creator on Instagram. She's a health coach. And she used DreamWave to generate examples of lifestyle photography of herself. And so this is an example of the input image that she puts in. And then on the right are examples of what DreamWave generates for her. And as you can see, like these are not kind of like face swapped images. The entire visual asset has been created from scratch. And then Julia used her DreamWave photo, like over here on the right, as a piece of content for her Instagram. And I think this is really cool because having high quality visual assets dramatically increases engagement, click-through rates. If people are scrolling through your Instagram feed, having a professional photograph of yourself is going to get more people to stop, click, like, and comment. We have another example here. Shannon is another content creator, and the photo that she used over here was also generated entirely from scratch with DreamWave. And so it definitely saved her a few $100s and a trip to a photography session to be able to create assets for her Instagram. Another example here is Alexa. So Alexa is another content creator on Instagram, and her niche is real estate. And so Alexa put in this input photo of herself and wanted lifestyle and studio photography assets. And so these are, 4 examples that DreamWave generated for her. Here is a closer look at the photo that she ended up choosing. And Alexa ended up using her photo as part of her content on Instagram as well. She created this infographic, 3 myths about buying a home, and used one of her professional photographs from DreamWave for this infographic. Some more examples of how you can use DreamWave to create photos. So this is an example of just using 2 input photos and creating a range of outputs. More lifestyle photography examples. And I think photos like this are really great for different types of ad creatives because they look natural and the lighting is just perfect. So I think that something like this would really cause people to stop and engage with your ad. This is pretty cool. So this is more of like creative and editorial outputs. And so in a photo studio, being able to create these types of images would require, setting up props, lighting, a ton of different costumes and costume changes. But with DreamWave, you can do creative photography with the snap of your fingers. More example of that lifestyle photography. The one over here on the left is one of my personal favorites. I feel like she looks like she's coming out of like an old film scene. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool that you can generate different types of aesthetics and vibes with DreamWave as well. More examples here. And then going into a little bit about fashion. So we at DreamWave believe that AI photography has endless possibilities for fashion. I think virtual try-on is a really great example of this. And so this is actually my friend, Erin. And Erin loved this dress from Reformation and wanted to try it on. And so I created this photo of her wearing the same dress. And so you could kind of imagine being able to do this at scale with different types of models, different types of clothing items, and being able to generate both brand photography and ad creatives like this at scale. A little bit more about kind of the current process for doing these types of fashion photography. So if you want to photograph a single SKU, you would have to hire a human model. You would have to rent out studio space, find a photographer, find hair and makeup. It's just a lot in terms of what goes into that type of budget. And so really our goal at DreamWave is to build out a deep engineering and design partnership with creative directors, marketing teams, and then being able to build these types of high fidelity custom models for a specific aesthetic. And I talked a little bit about this in the previous slides, but there's so many possibilities here. So, marketing campaigns, website photography, social media, ad creatives, and so on. A few more examples of the types of clothing items that we can do. So this is my friend Shervin, and Shervin is, shown over here with like a nice business casual collared shirt. And this blue and white puffer jacket that he virtually tried on. Couple more examples. This like nice leather jacket I think he looks great in. A V-neck t-shirt. But just so many different possibilities for the types of clothes that you could try on. I think this is a really nice kind of like winter aesthetic. So, like a white puffer jacket with kind of like the streets in the background. Corporate styles has actually been very popular among our customers as well. So here's an example input image, and then, being able to generate, like a nice blazer, a nice jacket, with that same person. Cool. Okay, so moving into some examples of website photography. So a lot of DreamWave customers have used our photos for their websites. This is Chris Reith, who's a creative director, and he's been using DreamWave for super easy and quick brand and web assets for his clients. Companies have been using DreamWave for consistent team headshots. So you can kind of see like at the bottom here, they kind of wanted like a fun, colorful vibe to really showcase their personality, and they were able to do that with DreamWave. Another example of companies using DreamWave for website photography. So this is Tri-State Psychotherapy Group. They are a firm of therapists, and before they kind of just had their therapists upload selfies, to their website. And if you're a therapist, you really want to make sure that you are presenting a professional look to your potential clients. And so they use DreamWave to get uniform headshots of all of their therapists. A little bit about DreamWave's personal AI photo studio. So I think I showed some examples earlier with the editorial and creative photography. And I think one thing that's really cool here is something I alluded to before, which is that the cost of costuming and props is often a huge one. But with Photo Studio, you can create, all sorts of different effects and, without kind of actually getting a whole team of people to do it for you. I think that these two images with the fire is pretty cool. So you don't have to, handle pyrotechnics or anything like that. You can just use DreamWave to make really cool imagery. Another example of DreamWave learning your personal style. So Cassandra is a musician, and she was really hoping for imagery with more of an artistic and edgy feel. And something cool about DreamWave is that it can learn your personal style kind of off the bat. So she was pretty happy with her DreamWave photos. More examples of the Met Gala. So these are consistent and natural photos of one specific person. I'm coming back to the Met Gala because I think it's a great example of being able to generate specific person and specific scene, with great lighting and minimal artifacts. Cool. And then in terms of what's next for us, we're very excited about product photography, videos, and more. I think that product photography actually represents just a huge efficiency speed up if you were to try to use AI to kind of create some of the assets that people are currently doing by hand. We wanted to start with people because I think being able to generate high fidelity clothing items and faces of people, that's kind of like a really easy way to grasp what DreamWave does. But with product photography, I think that's kind of the next step. And so we really want to go beyond like the background removal and generate entirely new product photos from scratch. So we are working on that, and we're hoping to release this product Q4 of 2024. And I think videos is another really cool area as well. We're actively working on this, probably sometime closer to next year. So I talked a lot about the different tools that we have for marketing teams. So if you're interested in any of that, feel free to come find me afterwards, and I can tell you how to get set up with that. In the meantime, we actually have this really fun consumer product where you can get professional AI headshots of yourself. And I'll drop the link. Well, the link is going to be in the next slide, I think, but you can feel free to check it out after the talk. But yeah, you can kind of get professional headshots of yourself with just a few sample pictures that you upload. Cool. Okay, so that's most of the material that I have so far. I wanted to leave the floor open for questions. So the consumer product is live and ready to go. So you just want to go to DreamWave.ai and then /AI headshots, and you can kind of try it out yourself with a few pictures that you have on your smartphone. So the hard part is modeling the person exactly right. So this is my friend Erin. She uploaded about 5 pictures of herself to create her own custom AI model. And then the AI takes about 2 hours to learn what you look like. Once the AI learns what you look like, you can kind of just upload any photo like this, and you'll be able to generate, yourself with that particular clothing item in a few seconds. The logo wasn't me. It was Carolyn Zhang, who was our amazing designer, and she's been a creative director for many, many years. But Carolyn has been advising us on a lot of the design aspects. So I'm an engineer. I don't do any of the design, but it's all her. So the process of training the custom model, that does not require any prompts. So for that, you literally just need to upload a few pictures of yourself. And then once the model is trained, that's kind of where you can do the different prompts that I showed examples of. So like the Met Gala, or even in this case, if you have a clothing item that you want to try on, you could do that as well. What do we do with your data? So we delete your personal AI model within 30 days of no use. We also delete all of your data. If you don't want us to store your data, we can delete that immediately. So that's both your AI generated photos and the photos that you upload. Right now, we don't do any sort of training on customer data or anything like that. Most people, I guess it's kind of like split. Like some people will explicitly want to make sure their data is deleted, and we do that for them. But yeah, as of now, we don't do any training on specific customer data. The AI Headshots product, that is available for consumer use today. The Photo Studio product, which includes the virtual try-on, we're onboarding people on a case-by-case basis. And yeah, I think the Photo Studio product is meant more for like marketing teams and larger companies. But we might actually release like a consumer version of the product as well. But I think there's like different considerations around like safe use of the model and so on. And so we want to make sure that people are using it responsibly. Yes, we can. I think that as of now, most people, so I guess with the consumer product, which is like our most popular product, people are using that for headshots. And so I guess most of the language on our website is kind of focused on the headshots, so we can cater to, the consumer interest. But for the studio product, no, you can do full body pictures as well, with, hands with the right number of fingers and so on. I guess in this particular example, the body type was pretty similar between the input and the example image. We haven't really done too many like side-by-side studies yet of like the different, like if you have a reference image with one particular body type and an example model with a different body type, like how does that kind of work yet? So I think that's definitely I think that's a great point and something that we would want to look into. I do think we can get body types correct in general. I think your specific question of like what happens if the reference photo has a different body type, I think, the AI can the AI could produce like a range of outputs there, and we would want someone to maybe go in and pick the ones that looked closest to the body type. But I think maybe, what are some examples? Yeah, like I feel like with Shervin, it definitely got his body type pretty accurately. And he uploaded kind of like, I believe he uploaded like kind of half body shots and face images. So, yeah. So the consumer product at the end is, it's actually just for professional headshots. So a lot of people, they want to update their personal website or their LinkedIn, and they just want like a professional headshot of themselves. And yeah, they're not really looking to do virtual try-on or anything like that. The studio product that I was talking about earlier, that's really more for marketing teams and just into people who would want to create specific brand aesthetics. And so for the studio product, that's where, someone with a little bit more creative direction would go in and put in a prompt or a reference image and create photos that look like what they want. Well, with the consumer product, like consumers don't want to do any of that. They just want professional headshots of themselves. And so that's kind of what's on the slide over here. Yeah. So it's the same exact tech. And it's like, a segment of the original. Yeah, absolutely. So DreamWave does not own any of the images that you create. So it's all yours. Right now, 1024 by 1024 pixels. And we're working on getting even higher resolution photos. Okay. So we actually trained our own diffusion model. We don't use Stable Diffusion or other open source models. I think, like our initial experiments with Stable Diffusion, like we just saw a ton of AI artifacts in the images. So this is our own diffusion model that we trained. I think that's a great question, and it's definitely a topic that I've thought a lot about. I think deploying AI models in a safe and ethical way is core to what we do at DreamWave, which is like another reason why for our studio product is kind of, we talk to people one by one to onboard them onto the product. Like we don't want people, using it for, deep fakes or political imagery and so on. Like we really want to make sure we understand everyone's use cases. And I think kind of just like the broader point here is, like, I think we are at a inflection point of technology, and in like throughout history, there's always been these like major inflection points, like the internet and social media, and now it's AI. And I think anytime you kind of have this new wave of technology, it can be used for terrible things, and it can be used for, amazing, like productive use cases. And and at DreamWave, we definitely want to be on the right side of history. And so we're really trying to make sure that people are using our models in an ethical and safe way. Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't be doing that because we will be onboarding people one by one. So we'll be seeing, we'll be like looking at the use case that you're trying to use DreamWave for. If your goal is to kind of make deep fakes of celebrities, like we can't accept you to the platform. So, yeah. I think for enterprise customers, we've had so much interest just from in-house brand and marketing teams, and just being able to save folks a lot of time and, marketing budget as well. So I kind of think the first wave of use cases is going to be the ad creatives and social media content that I was talking about earlier. So, a dress and being able to generate multiple ad creatives of that single dress for Instagram or other forms of ad creatives.